I'm going to try to condense your story. Steve is a logger, right? You have like this super cool like logging setup machine you won't let me drive. I'm going to drive it at some point. And then you ran a restaurant for many years,
yes.
and a gym, and you meet this logger.
Yes.
And because you know how to use a vacuum cleaner, you guys get married.
Basically.
Basically. So the couple that plays together, stays together, you don't play, you work. And then you decide to buy like 20 razors and like 3 slingshots.
Right, I did go kicking and screaming, but we did think it might be a good idea, so we did do it, and here we are.
So that this is now a business that
yes.
people come and they go on the off-road trails of New Hampshire. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes.
Right.
And tell me again, how many trails, like what's the distance of all these trails
Over
cumulative?
1,000 miles.
So we're stopping to get provisions at the general store, and the motto of the general store, Kim, is you sell generally everything, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so I wanted to stop and get some like old-timey snacks I used to have growing up in Wisconsin when we used to go to Pine Lake. This is kind of the area, but their lake is called Connecticut Lake in New Hampshire. Go figure. Anyway, Kimberly asked me, do I want paper? Now, I have been beaten into submission by the California Republic that bags cost me money now. And yes, I'm a recycle kind of a guy, but I am a cheapskate. I refuse to pay for bags. How much do bags cost in New Hampshire?
They're free for you.
I love New Hampshire.
MotoMan and I came here, it's not a vacation, it's work, but we're exploring New Hampshire with Polaris Adventures. And things haven't gone exactly according to plan because of Mother Nature.
But I didn't quite expect this much rain. Now, I was somewhat prepared because I brought the old ski pants with me. See how stylish I look here? And then we meet Steve, who you met earlier. And he comes up with the brilliant idea to take us in a vehicle with no roof to the highest point in New Hampshire, which normally on a good day would sound great. But 6,282-foot elevation in normal weather would be challenging because it's billed as the worst weather in the world, and that is entirely true. But now we have to add on top of that, instead of the regular train that brings you up the mountain, there was an ark and a lot of animals for some reason. Well, we drive our way up, and I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun driving the vehicle up this like beautiful curvy road, and granted, I really wanted a 911 GT3 going up that road, but we get there, we barely make it to the top of the peak there, and that was kind of the fun part. I felt like an Arctic explorer. And then we make our way down the mountain, and that's when the sky really opened. From there, we went to this fancy hotel for lunch, the Mount Washington Hotel, and they practically threw us out because we were kind of like drowned rats. But what's the old saying? Every cloud has a silver lining. Well, the silver lining is this. Steve and Corinne, they have a friend that's named, ironically, Steve, and he happens to have one hell of a car collection, but not just a car collection. This man needs therapy because he has collections of everything. Like, he has a collection of planes, but not like the planes that we have back at the hangar. He has planes that are like this. So I will say there is a favorite in his collections, and it's that 63 Bonneville with the 8 lugs back there. Hopefully Steve leaves because I'm going to take that home with me. So last night at dinner, Steve is telling us about this amazing muffin place that's run by his ex-wife. And he says we're going to go meet his ex-wife and her now husband to have breakfast. I said he would try to get us poisoned. Apparently, he was. And we're here now. So I'm with the ex-wife's husband, Ricky, and we're making muffins.
There we go. Bam, right?
So apparently up in the North Country, you have to be really close with all the people you marry. And then you bring guests for breakfast. So what are we making here?
We're making breakfast buns right now.
Okay, so now,
Yep.
you used to be a logger.
Yep.
And your wife, Steve's ex-wife, decided to get you into the muffin business.
Yep.
And now you have a drive-through muffin place.
Yep.
Which are awesome. I had a cinnamon roll, which was incredible.
Yep.
I think I might take one of those chocolate banana muffin things with me on the way to go. Bring them back to California. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
So now, how do you do this? Tell me how you do this.
Start over there and you do the yeast and the water and mix it up with the sugar. Then you add the flour and form it into a ball, let it rise, and then you roll it out on the table and cut it up. And
so like you have it, you got a couple of these things here. This turns into.
I mean, this
is like the basic. This is the building block. This
that
thing
comes
here.
into these right here.
This is the finished thing.
Buns, yeah.
I'm no like Rachel Ray, but this is how it is. I can cook though.
Like I said, we do pizza rolls, like you see out there on the tray. The cinnamon rolls.
I had one of these. This is like rock cocaine. And then this, what is this one?
That's the banana chocolate chip.
This is the one I'm going to steal.
Yeah, those are famous.
And then these are famous?
Oh yeah.
Oh, then I'm definitely
those.
stealing that.
Yeah.
Put it on Steve's account. And then what's this?
That's a homemade pizza roll, which is the same as this.
Wait, for breakfast?
Yeah, you can eat it pizza, breakfast, whatever you want.
People in New Hampshire are very strange.
I can eat pizza at any time. Yeah.
Here are a few facts about the RZR that you might want to know. When I talk about suspension travel, the suspension travel in a stock Jeep is 4 to 5 inches, which is a lot. The suspension travel in a RZR, they start at about 12 inches and go up to 24 in the top models. What that means is the chassis doesn't have to absorb that impact. The wheels travel, the shocks absorb the impact, so that you don't have to wear a mouth guard to go over a bump. You would think that these vehicles are very complicated, but they're not. They use the same engines and transmissions in a lot of the RZRs that go up and down the line. The parts are very available, they're very rebuildable and fixable, and they're incredibly durable because Polaris started out building work implements, and then they went into the power sports industry.
Excuse the helmet hair and the interruption because I know we're talking about motorized playthings. However, I just learned something that completely blows my mind as a frustrated designer. So Steve, the guy you met who is the proprietor of this whole thing up in New Hampshire, well, he has many businesses and one of them is he's a logger. He literally has like this $1 million piece of equipment that, no exaggeration, it cuts down trees and slices it, dices it to send it off to the mills. Well, there's a benefit to being a logger in New Hampshire, and that's when you build your own house with your own 2 hands, as Steve has done. This whole log here, that is the support of the entire house, he went in and chose this very tree, took his fancy dancy piece of machinery, cut it down, and took all the branches off of it, had it finished, and then with his own 2 hands, put these beams up here, connected it with the trusses up here, and then drilled the bolts in to make the structure of the house. I'm beginning to think I don't like Steve at all. Now, before we close out this episode, as well as season 9 of the show, we'd like to send out a couple of thank yous. First and foremost, to Polaris Adventures for setting all this up logistically. And Kumo tells me that they do this not just in northern New Hampshire, but they also do this all around the U.S. as well as in Canada. So there are other Steve and Corinnes out there. And then a thank you, I think, to Jason for introducing me to the world of 3 and 4 wheels. That's not cars, but really not a thank you to Jason. Because, dude, I already had a bad habit here, a ridiculously bad habit over there. Do I need another one? Because now I really want one of these RZRs. So instead of sending you a thank you, I'm going to send you the bill. And then a heartfelt thank you to Steve and Corinne. They are certifiably nuts, but in the best possible way. And yes, this was about these cool toys in this amazing playground. We knew that going into it. But after spending time up there and time with Steve and Corinne, what became readily apparent is they are the mayor and the mayoress of North County, New Hampshire. They know everyone. They know everybody at the general store, the cafe, the steak place, the garage. And actually, while I'm saying thank you, huge thank you to the ex-wife for not poisoning us. But really, what I got from this is Yes, they know this place like the back of their hands, and it was an amazing adventure with these people. But I've had time to reflect in the 2 months since I've shot this, and now it makes me think, do I have it right living here in the California Republic, or does Steve and Corinne have it right living up there? So while you and I ponder this, let's circle back to the transition from season 9 to season 10. There are going to be a couple of changes coming up after a hiatus. We're going to come back to you in a couple of weeks in early 2019. Yes, this will be one of the early episodes. And no, it is not lost on me that we started season 9 with a GT3 and we're ending season 9 with a GT3. Arguably, this is a better one because of the color, has a manual transmission, and no douchebag wing. We're also going to come back with the 992, and we're coming back with something that we used to do. We're changing the format and we're bringing it back as part of the show. But that's all I'm going to tell you about season 10. However, Kumo, he wanted me to share something with you, or really ask you a favor. Is there something you would like to see on the show that we are not doing now? Any interesting ideas? Stuff that you think would be good for us to share with you guys? Let us know in the comments below or via our social media, MotoMan TV on Word, MotoMan TV on Word, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I am certain that Kumo will catalog them and share them at the next board meeting. But in the interim, one more thank you, and that is to you guys. We are now getting into season 10, doing this almost 10 years, and this is a huge thank you to you for being on this journey with us, to get us cars like GT3 Tourings, and for us to meet amazing people like Steve and Corinne. So a huge thank you for being on the journey with us. So in the interim, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, even though it was a couple of weeks ago. Happy Festivus for the rest of us, and really wishing you an amazing new year in 2019. I'm looking forward to sharing more journeys, more cars, and more dogs. Until I see you next time, bis später.
I could be stuck being the Muffin Man.
Yeah, you could.
You could have been the Muffin Man.
Yeah.
That 61 Bonneville with the 8 lugs in the back. Something tells me I'm going to roll out with that thing and Steve's never going to know. Okay. I don't like Steve! Come up and play with their toys, which is a slingshot. Well, don't get dirty on this screen, right? Please. Where their mind goes, these people in New Hampshire. So you know how they call New Hampshire the... Hey, if you're really available and really hot, have a good ass and some big, I got a guy for you over here. He's got a collection of collections. You can come see his andiron collection. Oh, better yet, you can ride his elevator. He really has one.